In today's video, I'm just going to take y'all on a quick guided tour of an instrument that we call the B-flat trumpet. I look hideous. I was trying something new, okay, with my hair. Trying something new with my razors, and it's just not working. And then I had this pimple that I didn't even notice until just now when I went live. Sorry, so I apologize for all of this. We'll get it sorted, we'll get it figured out. But I wanted to explain to you all what this is. This is called, this thing, it's called a B-flat trumpet with a harmon mute. This, and it sounds a little something like this. Or this. It sounds a little something like this. That note that I just played is called the B flat, and this instrument is called the B flat trumpet because the lowest note you can play on it is a B flat. Among all brass instruments except for trombones and maybe a few other exceptions, by convention we call the note C. Whatever note that you play without touching the valves, we call that C. So we call this a C. But if a trumpet is a B-flat trumpet, what that means is that our local C, what we call a C on the instrument, is actually a B-flat. Now, there's a certain combination of notes that we can play with this particular length of tubing, and those series of notes is called a bugle scale. Let me back up. A brass instrument that has no valves is a bugle. Sometimes an instrument with valves can be called a bugle, and perhaps you could call any brass instrument a bugle, but without valves it's only a bugle. And a bugle sounds like this. That combination of notes is called a bugle scale, and that particular bugle scale was a B-flat bugle scale because this is a B-flat trumpet. Where was I going with this? Oh, so for all the guitarists out there, okay? So I'm hoping some of my audience is like people who are really good musicians but never understood trumpet. So like if you're an elite guitarist who's never understood trumpet before, this combination of notes that we call a bugle scale, it is the exact same combination of notes that you guitarists get with your harmonic series, right? Imagine if you just tuned your A string to B flat and you could only play harmonics. It would sound like this. Okay? So hopefully something clicked for the guitarists out there. You know, because some of y'all play a lot of harmonics. And maybe now the trumpet is going to make sense. Now what do the valves do? Okay, well, so the guitarists out there know that the first harmonic is on the 12th fret of the guitar and the second harmonic is on the 7th fret. And therefore there are 5 fret positions, or 6 if you count the top and bottom, between the first harmonic and the second harmonic. In other words, the first 2 notes of the bugle scale are like 7 half steps off, or like a perfect fifth, right? Listen. So that's a perfect fifth. So that means if we wanted to play a complete chromatic scale, we could take this instrument and adjust it so that it could cover every note in between the G and the B flat, or the F and the B flat. Sorry, I'm trying to go by concert pitch only, which is F and B flat. So what the valves here do is they allow you to play a complete chromatic scale between that particular F and that particular B flat, because as we go up the bugle scale, the intervals get smaller and smaller. That's a perfect fourth, and now we're going to have a major third. So we have perfect fourth, major third, minor third, so on. Then it starts to get a little bit weird. So the valves, well, if I have a B flat trumpet, what this valve does, look at that little piece of tubing there, okay? What my middle valve does is it inserts a piece of tubing that lowers the pitch 1/2 step. It's almost exactly, it's like a piece of tubing that's proportionately the exact same length as 1 fret position on a guitar, because it's effectively the same as dropping down. Like you got, let's say you got a capo on your guitar, and one of your strings is on B flat, and you just drop your capo down 1/2 step. It's the same as pushing the middle valve to insert that little piece of tubing to make our bugle 1/2 step lower, lowering it from a B flat to an A. And now we have a whole new bugle scale on A, natural. So what do you think the first valve does? Well, this one drops my bugle a whole step from a, what did I say, from a B flat down to an A flat. And this one here, a little bit complicated, because this is where it starts to get a little bit complicated microtonally. All right. So those of you who are like really deep into the microtonal rabbit hole, and I'm with you, okay, but we're not going to go there right now. So for the noobs, it's suffice it to say, third valve inserts a length of tubing equivalent to 3/2 steps. If you want to get really technical, the third valve is meant to drop the pitch a minor third when used in conjunction with the second valve. And that's why it's not enough. So it's meant to be used in conjunction with the second valve, and therefore if you use second valve or third valve with first valve, it's not enough and you have to kick out the slide. Anyway, we want to, sorry, I didn't mean to get that deep. This is supposed to be introductory trumpet for noobs. But for all the fans of the G bugle out there, all you D and B nerd kiddos, you can effectively have a G bugle if you just hold down the third valve, lowering this from a B flat to a G. And now we have a 2-valve G bugle just like they play in the D and B. And I wonder if y'all ever used that tangy natural 7. So that was theoretically a G. So that was a G bugle scale, right? I think. So that should have been like a G, D, G, right? By the way, did you guys, if you were like marching around, like, did you guys use concert pitch? You know, would you call that a CGC, or would you have called that a GDG? So now we have a major triad with a natural 7, which is different from a normal dominant 7. And again, I wonder if you guys use this. So that natural 7 theoretically is 30 cents flat of a, oh, of course, my pitch is plus or minus 40 cents at least on any day, right? But a proper natural 7 theoretically is 30 cents flat of a standard minor 7. Anyway, so I wonder if you guys use that. Did you guys use any of that? Anyway, so this has been just an introduction to Trumpet. Oh, I kind of specialize in Dorian modes these days. And, you know, I play the opposite of marching band stuff. But I wonder if you guys ever played around with Dorian. Again, I apologize for my hair. I apologize for everything. That's just a little piece I'm working on for your wife. For you and your wife. That's a piece titled, Dude, I'm gonna fuck your wife with the door open. Steve Marler, signing off.